Welcome to the Revel Report. We're inspiring faith with reason and reason with faith. Dude, the waves were totally transcendent this morning. Like, the universe was speaking through the ocean, man. Whoa. Oh, still buried in those ancient scrolls? Oh, yeah. Good morning, Skylar. I'm actually reviewing some Aramaic translations of Jesus saying in their original linguistic context. The semantic nuances are quite fascinating. Speaking of the G-Man, I was having this cosmic realization while catching the waves today. You know what? Jesus never actually dropped the G-bomb, Like, nowhere in the whole Bible, the biblical narrative, does he explicitly say, I am God. Mind blown. Well, I mean, you're raising an interesting point about explicit versus implicit. Implicit communication in ancient Near Eastern religious discourse was different. You're correct that the precise formulation of I am God doesn't appear as a direct quotation. There you go, man. See, even the scholar admits it. All right. I got to share this epiphany with my meditation group, Christianity Debunked in One Cosmic Revelation. Hashtag spiritual awakening. Okay, well, your observation about explicit terminology is accurate, but it misses the cultural and linguistic context. In Second Temple Judaism, direct claims to divinity would have been considered blasphemous. Instead, Jesus employed what scholars call functional equivalence, demonstrating divine prerogatives through actions and specialized terminology that his audience at the time would have definitely recognized. Dude, that was a lot of syllables. But I'm picking up what you're saying, what you're putting down. You're saying he was being all metaphorical and stuff. Like when I tell people I'm one with the ocean after a perfect wave. Yeah, that's an interesting parallel, though not quite equivalent. When Jesus made statements like, I and the Father are one, he used the divine I am, the reference to himself. And at the time, his Jewish audience recognized these as explicit divine claims, which is precisely why they attempted to stone him to death for blasphemy in John 10:33. No, dude, that's John's gospel is like way later cosmic propaganda. Man, it's like when someone posts the perfect surfing photo, but it's actually from 3 summers ago with major filters. That's a common argument. The chronology question is well studied, and while John's gospel was indeed finalized later than the synoptic gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, contemporary scholars increasingly recognize its incorporation of early traditions. More importantly, the high Christology you're attributing solely to John appears in our earliest Christian documents, Paul's authentic epistles, which predate even Mark's gospel by at least a decade. Okay, dude, but if I were the cosmic consciousness of the universe incarnate, I wouldn't be all cryptic about it. I'd be like, attention, earthlings, divine being here, good vibes only. Okay. Your counterfactual raises interesting questions about divine pedagogy. In the cultural milieu of first century Palestine, such a proclamation would have immediately terminated Jesus' ministry. Instead, he employed what theologian Michael Bird calls a gradualist revelation, demonstrating this divine authority through actions that were unmistakable to those with eyes to see, commanding nature, forgiving, receiving worship, healing the sick. Whoa, but the cosmic consciousness collective isn't convinced, man. I read online that only like half of Americans think Jesus was divine. That's like statistical proof. Well, actually, contemporary polling data actually presents a fascinating sociological phenomenon for that. Despite 2 millennia of critical examination. And in an increasingly secular age, approximately 56% of Americans still affirm Jesus' divinity. From a historical perspective, that's a remarkable resilience to that theological position. But Jesus never said other important stuff either. He never said the Trinity is cosmic reality, or build megachurches with fair trade coffee bars, or fossil fuels disrupt natural energy flows, or now, if I may interrupt you there, my server friend, you're invoking what logicians would call an argument from silence. You see, such reasoning is generally considered fallacious unless there's a strong expectation that something would have been mentioned if it were true. We wouldn't expect Jesus to address issues outside his historical context. But dude, that's the whole philosophical system, man. If Jesus didn't literally say it, it shouldn't be cosmic law. And since Jesus never explicitly said, don't use lavender oil as toothpaste, I've made some dental choices I'm totally committed to. Yeah. Well, yeah. But there is a limitation of your premise because ancient communication relied heavily on implicit meaning and shared cultural understanding. When Jesus permitted Thomas to proclaim, "My Lord and my God," his acceptance constituted endorsement with that communication framework that he is God, that he is Lord. Not saying you're wrong doesn't mean you're right, bro. By that logic, since Jesus never specifically said, don't interpret interpretive dance as medical device, like my chakra alignment workshops should count as healthcare. You know what I mean? Yeah. However, you're conflating categorical domains. So Jesus addressed the theological questions pertinent to his salvific mission while establishing ethical principles that could apply to emerging situations through what Augustine called rightly dividing the word of truth. Well, according to this cosmic consciousness survey, even 30% of evangelical Christians don't believe Jesus is God. Your own spiritual tribe, man, is not convinced, dude. Okay. Well, that statistic actually illustrates the importance of theological education and hermeneutical training. You know, when individuals engage with the biblical text in their proper historical grammatical context, the cumulative case for Jesus' divine self-understanding becomes quite compelling. In fact, I would say that is undeniable. Dude, if Jesus were the cosmic consciousness, he would have been way more efficient. He'd have encoded his message in DNA and made it appear in everyone's dreams, or 3D hologram, or written it in the stars somewhere, or at least made this viral TikTok video, dude. I get what you're saying. Your objection, though, presupposes that efficient information transfer was the primary divine objective. But the question is, was it? For the Christian understanding, articulated brilliantly by Kierkegaard, it's that God's purpose wasn't merely noetic, but it was relational. Not just to make you know, not just to communicate data, but to invite participation in divine life, to invite relationship from the divine, from the creator to the created. Relationship. Dude, then why not just hang around instead of getting hung on a tree? Jesus could be running a spiritual retreat center in Sedona right now. Welcome to Enlightenment Week. Today we'll be turning water into organic, sustainable, fair trade kombucha. Okay, well, the truth is, Jesus actually addressed this very question in John 16, explaining that his physical departure was necessary for the coming of the Spirit, allowing his presence to transcend geographical limitations and work through human vessels like you and I, what theologians call the doctrine of pneumatological presence. But dude, the real cosmic question is, if Jesus was God, why didn't he predict climate change or AI or the internet or plant-based protein alternatives? Some omniscient deity he was. I mean, I've had fortune cookies with more accurate predictions than that. Like, just way more like fortune cookie, like stars, like horoscopes, man. Okay, bro, can you not wave your hands and dance like that near my coffee? It's gonna spill. Sorry, dude. I just deconstructing Western theological paradigms. Cosmic work is in progress. Listen, brother, your critique misunderstands the purpose of divine incarnation. Christ's mission wasn't a future prognosis of technological developments, but of redemptive intervention in the human condition to turn us from sinners to saints, to turn our mess into a message, to get us out of darkness into the light, to transform us. And interestingly, his ethical teachings about human dignity, creation care, moral responsibility, laid the philosophical groundwork for the scientific and humanitarian advances that you're referencing. But like, historically speaking, the whole divine thing evolved over time, right? Like, early followers just thought he was like this cool teacher, this guru guy. Then gradually the cosmic mythology devolved and developed, right? Interestingly, the chronological evidence contradicts that very model. Our earliest Christian documents, the authentic Pauline epistles from the 500 AD, already presents a full divine Christology. In fact, in 1 Corinthians 8:6, Paul reinterprets the foundation of Jewish schema to include Jesus within divine identity. And it's a remarkable theological development occurring within 2 decades of the crucifixion. But if Jesus was the universal consciousness, why not just like prove it clearly? Like levitate permanently, or like make his aura visible, or turn the Mediterranean into smoothie bowls, or like really good like chili soup that I really love. Your question touches on what philosophers call the hiddenness of God. Now, thinkers from Pascal to Plantinga have proposed that overwhelming demonstration would preclude the possibility of genuine relationship, genuine faith. And as C.S. Lewis observed, compelled belief is antithetical to love, which requires freedom to choose or to reject. And God gives us that free will to choose a relationship with him or reject that relationship with him. Oh, the free love argument. Well, how convenient. Sorry, I can't prove I'm the cosmic consciousness because you'd have to believe me, and that would totally harsh your free will vibe, man. You see, it's not for mere convenience sake, but it's logically necessary. If, as Christianity claims, God's purpose is a loving relationship rather than mere acknowledgement, then freedom is by essence, a prerequisite. As Alvin Plantinga articulates in his free will defense, even omnipotence cannot create the logical contradiction of forced free choice. Whoa, I almost missed my sound bath meditation, but I've totally won this cosmic debate since Jesus never literally said, I am God. Like, case closed. I gotta go my yoga practice. I respect wherever you need to go, but by that same criterion of explicit declaration, I should note that Jesus never said, I am not God either. So perhaps we should consider the totality of evidence rather than expecting ancient figures to conform to modern communicative preferences. Oh, well, that's like, I mean, yeah, like, I got, well, that's like, dude, like, man, I gotta, yep. The hermeneutical approach, most faithful to the text, involves examining the cumulative weight of Jesus' actions, his teachings, self-reference, and the reactions that he provoked, all within their proper Second Temple Jewish context. You know what, dude? Like, next time I'm sticking to discussing whether crystals have consciousness, because the crystals that I deal with have consciousness. Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, same time next week, we can have a talk. Yeah. Yeah, dude, fine. But next time I'm bringing my energy crystals and they're going to be here because I feel like I'm just like low vibes right now.